In this video, I really kind of want to talk about what the reality of fishing looks like. And in this video, I'm not just talking about bass fishing, I'm talking about a lot of different types of fishing, because over the course of my life, I've done a lot of bass fishing, I've done a lot of crappie fishing, cat fishing, and even here recently, I've done some saltwater fishing. And kind of the exact same thing is true when it comes to fishing in general. There's kind of this truth that I see in fishing. And I think it's important for all of us anglers to understand this, because it can help us to catch more fish when we're out there on the water if we understand kind of the reality and kind of this big truth. Now, before we get into that, this video is brought to you by my apparel company, Fin Fishing. Right now at Fin Fishing, for the month of September, I am running a package deal. You can actually get a USA made sun shirt and a pair of sun gloves for 60 bucks. So it saves you money and it really helps support this channel. It's really simple. All you gotta do, add the sun shirt that you like to cart, add the sun gloves that you like to cart. You will see that discount at checkout. Shopping at Fin Fishing, it's truly the best way to help support this channel, and I greatly appreciate all of you who have done so. All right, now one of the biggest reasons that I wanted to talk about this is because I haven't done a lot of saltwater fishing over my life. But I have done a little bit. And here recently, I actually just got back from vacation. You guys may not know this because I tried to get as many videos kind of in the queue before I left. But something that I experienced out there saltwater fishing is something that I have seen in all of the fishing that I've ever done. And I think that it's just really, this is a really simple concept, but I think it's something that can really help us to stay motivated when we're out there on the water, and also help us to actually catch more fish when we're out there on the water as well. And what I'm talking about here is that no matter what style of fishing that I have done, no matter what species of fish that I have fished for, typically there are small windows in a day where you catch the bulk of the fish that you are going to catch in that day. And sometimes the windows are very small in comparison to the rest of the day. I mean, I have fished in Florida before. I remember fishing this 1 8-hour day in Florida before, where I caught a big bag of fish. I caught them in 15 minutes. I did not get another bite the rest of the day. A 15-minute window made it look really, really good. Like, it made me feel like I was the best fisherman ever, even though I went the majority of the day without getting a bite. And the same thing happens in a lot of the fishing that we do. I was just out in the Florida Keys, did a vacation down there, and one of my best friends actually bought a charter for us to go out and go fishing. And during this day, we were fishing for Mahi, or dolphin fish. And we spent a number of hours looking for Mahi out there. And the biggest thing that we were doing on this day is we were looking for floating debris. Literally, we were looking for buoys or seaweed lines or anything that was kind of floating on the surface that would just give the Mahi, you know, typically what happens is that surface creates a little bit of shade, which attracts some bait fish, which attracts the Mahi. And even though we were fishing in 700 feet of water, all we were looking for was these little pieces of debris. And we spent a number of hours doing this. And it was barren. Like, we weren't catching anything. We weren't seeing a whole lot. And then literally at the end of the day, we found a log out there in the middle of the freaking ocean that was probably 5 inches in diameter and 20 foot long. And there was a school of over 100 Mahi on this one freaking log. And so we, in literally the last 20 minutes of the day of our fishing outing, we caught like, I think 17 or 18 Mahi. Well, I don't know if it's just one Mahi or two Mahis, whatever. We caught like 17 or 18 in the last 20 minutes of the day, and it made for just an incredible time out there on the water. Now, we caught some tuna and we caught some deep fish throughout the day too, so we had a lot of fun doing some other things, but it was really this small window during the day that made it feel like it was just a great day out there on the water. And this is what happens so much of the time in all the fishing that we experience. And so one of the biggest things that I wanted to talk about in this video, now that we kind of see that that is really the reality of fishing, is that I think it's extremely important to realize when that is happening out there on the water. Because for me as a tournament angler, there's always this thought of the grass is always greener. I may catch 1 or 2 fish in one area, but I'm like, man, I can't wait to get to that spot. And then I go there and then I'm like, I can't wait to get to that next spot. And I'm always trying to find this pot of gold out there, where sometimes what you don't realize is that you will spend a whole day chasing a pot of gold and never find it, and you were around some fish earlier that you could have really taken advantage of. This kind of also goes back to the saying of don't leave fish to find fish. And so a couple of things that I've realized, especially when it comes to tournament fishing, is that when I'm out there on the water and I get into these areas where I just feel like there's a lot of life and I start catching fish, no matter what the size of those fish are, I really try to take advantage of them. And what I mean by that is I really try to catch what is there in that period, in that window where they're biting, because I never know what's going to happen the rest of the day out there on the water. So I, a lot of times, am going to experiment in that little area and try to catch what I can catch. Maybe I fish very efficiently through a small area. I catch 3, 4, 5 fish, or maybe I catch 10 or 15 fish, and maybe I pop 1 or 2 big ones along the way. I might stick in that zone and then try to finesse some fish and then try to throw a different bait here and there, or hit it at a different angle, and really just to take advantage of this area. Because like I said, the reality of fishing is that a lot of times we have these small windows throughout the day where we catch them. And I think that a lot of us think about those days. There are definitely days where we go out there and we catch fish all day long, where you set your boat down and you catch them all day long. And those days don't happen all the time, especially in tough conditions, but those are the awesome days that we all love. And we, a lot of times I feel like, think that, you know, you look at professional anglers, we think that that's how their days go all the time. But even for a lot of professional anglers, I know a number of them, it's the exact same thing. They catch their fish in a very small window, and then a lot of times they struggle the rest of the day, or they can't kind of figure anything else out. And so always be, when you're out there on the water, I think the biggest thing that you can kind of do is just be self-aware and self-conscious of what is happening out there on the water. If you get around some fish and you can catch them, and you know, obviously if you're in a tournament and you're catching 1-pounders and it seems like there's only 1-pounders in that area and you need to catch 3 and 4-pounders, then you need to leave. But a lot of times you will find these areas that just have life, and there are mixed in fish of all different sizes and species in a small area. And so guys, I know that I've made videos similar to this in the past about the reality of fishing, but I think it's so important for us as anglers to just understand what it actually looks like. Because again, I know for me as a tournament angler, I look at a tournament results page and you think, man, he caught 17, 18, 19, 20, whatever it may be. You know, if you're in Texas, maybe it's 25, 26, 27, 30, whatever it may be, you think, man, they smashed them. And what the reality is that they caught them in a little window. Like more times than not, there was a small window where they caught the majority of their fish. I think this can also really help us to stay motivated out there in the water. I filmed a couple of lake break videos over the last month that haven't actually gone on BassFishingHQ yet, where I struggled to catch fish early in some of these, and struggled to the point of nearly giving up in some of them, and like saying like, I'm scrapping this video and I'm going home type of thing. But in both of these videos, I had traveled a long distance, and I'm like, there's no way I'm ever going to scrap these videos anyways, because the whole point of those lake break videos is that I want to show people what it looks like. And I was able to press on in a couple of these videos and end up putting some things together. I can't wait to put those together and put them out on BassFishingHQ. But the thing is that in my mind, I always thought, man, it takes just 15 minutes sometimes to make a whole day a great day. And so let it be motivation for you of what the reality of fishing actually looks like. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, comment down below. Don't forget to check out the fin fishing gear, and I will see you guys tomorrow.